Hi everyone! Today I will show you how to store salt and sugar. If you made it to this video, then I'm sure you are aware of the importance of having salt and sugar in your long-term food storage. Salt has best been known not just for taste and the essential nutrient your body needs, but also it's best known to be a food preservative, especially for meat. Salt was at one time the world's main trading commodities. Salt was also used as currency. The word salary comes from the Latin word for salt. Salt is so popular and important that wars have been fought over salt. I can say a few things more about salt, but I wanted to briefly state its importance for those who do not know. So I hope that sparks your interest to research and learn more. Now for sugar. Your body uses sugar for energy. It provides energy for your muscles and acts as a source of energy for your brain and nervous system. Sugar has a whole history of its own and was once known as white gold. Sugar has a barbaric history that fueled slavery. Storing sugar for your emergency food storage can be used to sweeten drinks and can be used for baking and cooking. Whether sugar is good for us or not, we still need it because it's an essential ingredient in many recipes, especially if you're baking, and who does not love something sweet? Both salt and sugar does not have an expiration date. When storing salt and sugar, never use an oxygen absorber because it will turn it to a solid brick and will cause the sugar to have a chemical taste to it. The strange taste is only to be found when an oxygen absorber is used with sugar. Also, oxygen absorbers are unnecessary because salt and sugar does not spoil from oxidation. Okay, so we're going to get started. The first thing you want to do before you even put anything on your workspace is clean your counter, which I've already done, and you want to use something that's going to really kill the germs. I use Lysol, and it kills 99.9% of viruses and bacteria. You want to use something strong and that will actually clean your surface. So that's already done and taken care of. I put out the things I'm going to use, which I'm doing my salt, my sugar. You don't have to use funnels, but I've noticed that funnels work really good for my Mylar bags because I have the Mylar bags that has a zip closure, and I've noticed that when I don't use a funnel, the salt or sugar will get stuck in here and it might compromise when I try to seal this up and iron it. So I'm going to try to be extra careful and not have any kind of sugar or salt residue on my closure right here. And then another thing I have is my Sharpie Extreme Fade Resistant marker, and this will be to mark my bags so I know exactly what's in there, the date I packed it, and all that good stuff. And then I'm going to use this is the 3 different sizes I have today. I have these little sizes, which I will use for salt, mostly for salt, and this is a 2-gram resealable, I believe this is the 5mm Mylar bag. The next size I have is this one, and that is a 7.5mm Mylar bag, and this is a 5x7. Then the next one I have, which is the 1 quart, which is this one right here I have. This is the 1 quart, and I think this, it doesn't show me on the bag, I forgot what I ordered, but it's either a 5mm or a 7.5mm. So that's the 3 sizes I'm using today, and these are perfect for salt and sugar. Salt you might want to use in these bags since you don't really use that much salt at a time, and also if you are really into prepping and you're doing this for when SHTF happens, SHIT hits the fan, there you go. You might want to have some barter items like many people I watch on YouTube That's what they do. And you want to have little tiny bags for that. So this is a great little bag. And for any other seasonings that don't have any kind of oils in them, can store long term also, which I will do another video on soon. But today I'm just doing salt and sugar. And then this one is also a good size for salt or sugar. And this one is really great for, this is the 5x7. No, the 1 quart, I don't know the dimensions, but this is the 1 quart size. And this is good for sugar, since if you're mostly mixing it in teas or Kool-Aid, you're going to use a lot of sugar at a time, so it's better to use a little bit of a bigger bag than the smaller ones, because you're not going to use a lot of salt at a time. Yeah, and so the smaller bag and this size bag is great for salt. If you know you're going to be using a lot of salt, like to preserve meats, then you might want to go ahead and put a lot of salt in some bigger bags. But I'll probably be doing a couple of each. So with all of that being said, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do before I even fill up my bag is I'm going to use my marker. And I'm going to write the product on there, the best by date, which they have, even though it's going to last many, many, many years, maybe 30 plus years for the sugar. I'm still going to write that. I'm going to write the date I'm packing it on. Just all for my own personal information. You can list it on your Mylar bag however you would like, but this is what I'm going to do. Okay, so this is what I have so far. I have that it's pure cane granulated sugar. I have today's date that I packed it on, October 1st, 2020. I put the best by date, which is August 2023, even though it will last many years over that if you pack it right, like how we're doing today. And then I also like to put the brand, and this is the Great Value brand from Walmart. Okay, so before we get started, you want to make sure you have washed your hands with some hot soap and water. Clean your hands really good. And also, you might want to grab you a kitchen bowl. So with these Mylar bags that close like this, it does have a bottom that opens up that will stand up right for you. But with the kitchen bowl, it's just added protection to make sure it won't make sure it doesn't completely fall over and spill your salt and sugar and make a mess. Okay, so I opened my bag of sugar. Opened my Mylar bag. I have me a mason jar funnel for mason jars, which works pretty good because it has the white opening. And I'll just place it like that. It's going to help me not to pour sugar where I have to close it. Now if you have the bags that does not have this type of closure, you really don't need to worry about it. You can just wipe it down before you seal it with a hot iron with a dry paper towel. Alright, so let's see if I can pour the sugar in here with one hand. See? That funnel really helps to keep my edges where I'm going to seal it nice and clean. I'm trying to leave enough room at the top for when it's ready for me to seal up. Alright, I have a kitchen scale I'm going to go weigh this on, so I know exactly how much I'm packing in, because this bag of sugar is 4 pounds, and I would like to maybe do a 2 pounds in this, and maybe do another 2 pounds like this, or do some smaller bags. Okay, so I just came back from weighing this on my kitchen scale, which is also another great tool to have and use when you do this kind of stuff. You don't need it, but I like to be detailed in what I have. So this is exactly 2 pounds. I'm going to go ahead and close this up. Remember, your sugar and your salt is not going to need an oxygen absorber. So with these, I can go ahead and close up. I'm kind of doing this at a difficult angle with this camera right in front of me. So I'm just going to squeeze out as much air as I can. Close that up. Nice and tight. And now, since I know how much this weighs, I'm going to write on here 2 pounds. I always like to have an exact measurement when I can, so I know how much I have of something. And so there you go. We're still not done yet, because the final step will be to seal this with a hot iron. So I'm gonna make a few more of these, and then since I can since these don't require an oxygen absorber, and I can close it like this, like a Ziploc bag, I'm going to put this aside and work on some more Mylar bags, and then I'm gonna do the hot iron last. And that will be the final seal that will make it last for a long time. I'm just going to redo the steps for the rest of this sugar. I'm going to use the same size bag, so I know I can fit the rest of the 2 pounds in here. For the demonstration purposes only, I would use some of the smaller bags. But to go quicker, I'm going to do another size bag like this, which is the 1 quart. A 1 quart Mylar bag fits 2 pounds of sugar, just to let you know. Alright, so I have that one marked, and now we can fill it. There we have it. Another 2 pounds of sugar and some good quality Mylar bags. And this is, I believe, the 5 mil or the 7.5 mil. This is the 1 quart, and a 1 quart size fits 2 pounds of sugar perfectly. Okay, so now here I have the 2 gram Mylar bag, and I also have the 5x7 Ziploc bag. I'm going to go ahead and label the product on the bag because it's so much easier to label it before you fill it. And this time we're going to be doing the salt. Okay, so I opened my big box of salt. I got this at Sam's Club, and this is 4 pounds, and I think it was really cheap. I think it was about maybe $2 for this. So let's go ahead and fill up our little baby bag. I love these little baby bags, they're so cute. And they're Ziploc. So when you do seal this, you can, when you open it, when you tear this off and open it, you can seal it back up without having to worry about spilling it. And then I found this little guy at Walmart. I think this was maybe about $2 at Walmart. It's a little baby collapsible funnel. I'm going to use this for my salt. So I'm not getting the salt on these rims right here. Okay, so I just weighed this and I have 2 ounces in here, and you need to leave enough room at the top so it will seal, make a really good seal. So yeah, this is 2 ounces. I'm going to close this up. Remember, you do not need an oxygen absorber for salt and sugar. It will turn it brick hard, and it's unnecessary. It does not need the oxygen removed for it to last a long time for salt and sugar. Alright, so I have that closed up really good. I'm going to put this over here with my pile. Oh, first I'm going to label this that it's 2 ounces. Okay, so I labeled that this is 2 ounces. Oh great, I wrote it on myself with my marker. And I closed the Ziploc bag up. And we're still not done, because when we do more of these at the end, we're going to turn my hot iron on, and we're going to seal this with the hot iron for a really good closure. Okay, so now we have the 5x7 Ziploc 7.5 mil bag. And let's see. Get the bottom straightened up. But yeah, it does have a bottom like this. And I forgot where I ordered these from, but I will link it in the description below. I either ordered them from packfreshusa.com or the a new place I've ordered some from, which I think it was Discount Bags, MyDiscountMylarBags.com, something along those lines. I will link it in the description below, because those are 2 really good sites with information, a lot of information, and they have really good bags. So let's see how much we can fit in this 5x7. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a cloud of salt smoke going up in here. Whoa. Okay, I'm going to weigh this. I brought my scale in here. I'm going to weigh this real quick. So far it's 13 ounces, and I'm going to leave it like this so I have enough room to close it. Okay, I hope my camera battery doesn't die, but since this one did have like a cloud of smoke, well not smoke, but of salt as I was pouring it, it did get up here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm just going to take a dry paper towel and try to wipe it clean. Alright, that should be good enough. I'm just going to go ahead and seal it as good as I can. I have my seal. Now I'm just going to put this with the other ones that I will have to iron when we're done. But that's what it looks like so far. Close that up, and I weighed that on my kitchen scale, and it was 13 ounces. And for those who don't have a kitchen scale, I would highly recommend that while doing this. This is my kitchen scale right here, and this thing comes in handy so much with doing the Mylar bags, but also if you're on if you like to meal prep and you like to know how much protein is in your meal, if you want to weigh your piece of chicken or whatever, so you know exactly how much protein you're getting, this thing is so handy dandy and perfect. I'm going to do another small baby one. I have my little baby funnel. Go ahead and weigh it. That's 2 ounces. And it gives me enough room at the top to close it. There you have it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish as much as I can. I would like to see how many bags I can do with 4 pounds of salt. And then at the end, I'm going to come back. I'm going to show you how many I've got done, and we're going to seal them with the hot iron. Okay, so real quick, my 4-ounce bag of salt was able to do 12 of these 2-ounce bags here, and then 3 of these 5x7 bags with 13 ounces of salt in each. So that's pretty good. Like all this right here, these 3 bags and these 12 mini bags is 4 pounds of salt. Okay, and then for my sugar, I had a 4-pound bag of sugar. I was able to do 2 1-quart bags of 2 pounds of sugar in each. So that works out pretty good. So now I'm going to grab my hair straightener iron, and we're going to seal these shut for good until we need them in the future. Okay, so this is my hair straightener right here. This is the Infinity Pro by Conair. I got this many years ago at Walmart. Very cheap. I think it was maybe like $20 to $30 perhaps. But look, you need one that at least gets up to let's see how high this one can go. Okay, I turned it on here. It's on, this is at 365 degrees, 392, 419. This thing can get really hot. 455. What I usually do is I do 392 degrees. You need it around that temperature to have a good hot seal. And it also comes with this really cool holder here. And so you can put it like that so it won't burn your table or burn anything else when you lay it down. So this I got at Walmart. Highly recommend it. I don't straighten my hair anymore. I have extremely curly hair, and I've learned just to accept it. And I haven't straightened it in many years. So now I use this for my Mylar bags. Okay, excuse the salt. I had a bowl and I still have salt all over my table, salt and sugar. Okay, so you're gonna make sure you have this zip-locked really good. Make sure it's zip-locked. Okay. My flat iron's heated up to 392 degrees. And then I'm just gonna, you don't want to put it on the Ziploc part. You want to do it right above it. Just hold it there for a little bit, and you're gonna like kind of let it melt. It has to melt together. Pull it off. You see how it closed it? I'm gonna go through a couple more passes on it with my iron. Make sure this thing's really good and closed. See, it seals this metallized bag together really good. So there you go. This thing will be very hot, so be careful. Still very hot. Okay, that's one of my mini bags. Now we can do the 5x7 size. It's closed really good. For this one, I'm going to go halfway. Let it melt together. Oh, come on, camera, don't fall. Let it melt together and just pull it off. Kind of get the air bubbles as much as you can. Ooh. Sometimes it'll melt a little too much, where you'll get the metallized bag, or whatever you want to call it, on your iron. Just gonna wipe it off with a towel. Okay, so I'm gonna flip this over. I'm gonna do this side now. This thing is extremely hot. It's very, very hot. Okay. That one's closed. It's very hot. I'm just going to leave it over here for it to cool off. Now we'll do a 2-pound bag of sugar. This is the 1 quart size. If the inside of your bag might be a little powdery from the sugar or salt, you can just take a paper towel, try to wipe. Oh, I opened it back up. You see that? How I cleaned it. And now I'm going to reseal it. Make sure you get it on there really good. Okay. Remember, we're not using oxygen absorbers, so don't worry about putting oxygen absorbers in with your salt and sugar, because you don't need it, and it'll just turn it into a hard brick. Okay, so now that one's closed. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and work on all my other bags, and then I'll check in when I'm done. Okay everyone, so that's the end of my video. I just got through sealing all of these. They all have a really good seal. I got my sugar and all my salt. And now this will last me indefinitely as long as I keep it in a cool, dry place. And this is Mylar bags, so I do have to remind you that if you have a problem with rats and mice, they can chew through this. So if and when you do store this away, like mine, I think I'm gonna put mine into like some 5-gallon buckets. I'm gonna put all this in a big 5-gallon bag of Mylar with other items, and then I'm gonna seal that up in a 5-gallon bucket. Rats and mice can still chew through that plastic bucket. So what another option that people do is they will put all this in their 5-gallon buckets or some other kind of container, and they'll store that in a metal trash can, because rats and mice cannot chew through metal. Okay, and real quick, another tip I would like to share with you while we're talking about rats and mice getting into your stuff and ruining your food supply is that even if you have never seen a mouse or a rat before around your house, I've never seen one, and I don't want to take a risk. And I don't want to take a risk with ants or anything else. So I found these at Walmart, It's a 12 pack for about $5. And these are glue traps. They are non-toxic, home and family safe, prevent and eliminate pests in your home, professional strength formula. And this is good to catch mice, snakes, insects, and bugs of all sorts. These are awesome. I don't have rats or mice, but I do like to put these like behind my couch for spiders. Like I'll hide one of these maybe behind my bed or behind my couch because I hate spiders. I cannot stand spiders, especially jumping spiders for me. And I have a dog, so I don't want to spray a lot of poison on the ground. So these are awesome for any kind of just year round really. But if you do have your Mylar bags in food grade storage buckets, rats and mice can still chew through that. So these would be awesome to set up around like the perimeter of your storage buckets where you have food in it. You can use however many you would like or however many you think is necessary, but put one in each corner, a couple in front, a couple in back of them, so you have a really high chance of catching that mouse or rat before they do any damage to your long-term food storage. So this is really good. I would highly suggest this too, because you don't want to do all this work and then find out, you know, you don't check on your food supply, and then you find out years from now it's all ruined and damaged and non-edible due to rats and mice eating it, you know. And this is just one option on how to store this. You could also store your sugar and salt into some glass jars, such as mason jars. That's another thing I would highly suggest is that. But then with that, you would have to worry about them knocking over and breaking. Then you have tons of pieces of glass mixed in with your sugar or salt or whatever's in there. But so if you do store this in mason jars, I would suggest putting it on a shelf of some sort that has like a little wall in case if you have a earthquake it won't tip over and fall off the shelf, or store them on the ground in a container somewhere so you don't have to worry about them falling like 5 feet off of a shelf or something like that. So you have your risk with both, but that's really all I have to say. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you enjoy this video, please show your support by giving it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of this type of content, please subscribe, because I do plan on doing more.